Welcome to the original capital of modern Greece. This is the city of Nafplio. And right now we're going to explore Nafplio, first by a trolley train, and then maybe venture our way to that mysterious fortress island that has a dark secret associated with it. And maybe even go up there. We'll see how much we can explore of beautiful Nafplio. Nafplio is currently located about 1 hour and a half drive, 2 hour plus bus ride over here from Athens, and it's originally the very first capital of modern Greece. Once Greece separated in the 1820s, they end up making Nafplio the first capital, but it was the capital even before then with the Ottoman Turks of Greece. Then shortly after King Otto took over, he was so in love with Athens that he decided to make Athens the capital. But this is a very interesting city because it's also one of the better preserved cities, especially with its Venetian character here in the Greek Peloponnese. I'm Ariel, this is Urbanist, let me know where you're watching from. And let's take this trolley train first. It's a 4 hour Euro ride, 4 Euro ride, about 20 minutes. And we're gonna see the town quickly and then walk around. All right, let's go. One ticket. Do I buy here? One? Yeah, one, yeah. Oh, yeah, all right. If I stop.
Stands north from the Nafplio, from the old railway station to the bastion of Philadelphia, and is the historical center of Nafplio. Until 1470, the area was part of the sea, with the exception of Saromachalas neighborhood on the northwest part of the Nafplio. The most important historical parts of Nafplio are within the old city, such as Syntagma Square, the most important square. There stands the first parliament of the Greeks, Trianon, the oldest mosque of the city, and the archaeological museum. Saromachalas neighborhood, the neighborhood of the Greek fishermen during the Ottoman occupation. The bastion of Philadelphia, which protected with its 5 cannons the city and the port from the enemies. The Venetian port and trademark of the city, the Bootsy. The church of Ius Filiva, where the mark of the bullet of Church of Odysseus is still visible at its entrance. Apart from these, you can see other historical parts that left its mark in the history of Nafplio.
So welcome everyone. Mirna says how cute this ride is. Yeah, it's really cute. 4 euro, 20 minutes long. There's a recorded guide, so I'll let us hear it.
Δεξιά ψηλά επάνω μπορείτε να δείτε το κάστρο του Παλαμιδιού, που οφείλει το όνομά του στον ελληνικό ήρωα Παλαμίδη. Έχει ύψος 221 μέτρα και χτίστηκε κατά την Ελληνική περίοδο. Από αυτή την πλευρά φαίνονται και τα 999 σκαλοπάτια. Επίσης, μέσα στο φρούριο βρίσκεται το κελί που φυλακίστηκε ο Θεόδωρος Κολοκοτρώνης και το εκκλησάκι του Αγίου Ανδρέα.
On your upper right-hand side, you can see the Castle Palamini. It is 221 meters high, and it was built during the Venetian occupation. From this end, you can see the 999 steps. Inside the castle is the cell where Theodoros Kolokotronis was imprisoned, and the church of Ius Andreas.
Δεξιά μας μπορείτε να δείτε το άγαλμα του Κωνσταντίνου Κανάρη και το λαμβάνει την τουρκική ναυαρχίδα.
On your right, you can see the statue of Konstantinos Kanaris, who set fire to a Turkish admiral ship.
Howdy David, hello Susie, hello Sue, hello Adam, hello Oleg. Marina says how beautiful this ride is. Yeah. Para, watching from Dubai. William from Boston.
Μπορείτε να δείτε το σμιλεμένο μαρμάρινο άγαλμα του Ιωάννη Καποδίστρια, την πρώτη κυβερνήτρια της Ελλάδας. Τοποθετήθηκε στην πλατεία το 1932.
On your left, you can see the marble statue of Ioannis Kapodistrias, the first governor of Greece. It was erected in 1932.
The man who started modern Greece.
Βλέπουμε την πλατεία τριών ναυάρχων. Στο μέσο της πλατείας βρίσκεται το δημαρχείο της πόλης. Χτίστηκε το 1857 για να στεγάσει το πρώτο γυμνάσιο της Ελλάδος. Ακριβώς δίπλα του βρισκόταν το φαρμακείο του Ιταλού φιλέλληνα Μποναφίτσιο Μποναφίν, ο οποίος ταρίχευσε το νεκρό σώμα του δολοφονηθέντος Ιωάννη Καποδίστρια.
On your left, you can see the Three Admiral Square. In this square, you can see the building which is used today as the City Town Hall. It was built in 1857 and was the first high school of Greece. Next to this is the first pharmacy which belonged to the Italian Bonifacio Bonafini, who embalmed the body of the assassinated governor Capodistrias.
This is cool. Going through these tiny little streets.
Said to have been built during the 16th century.
Αριστερά μας βλέπουμε το μέγαρο του αντιβασιλιά Άνναφερ. Εδώ λάμβαναν συχνά χώρα δεξιός και χωροσπερίδες. Με τη σπάνια για την εποχή υπόκρουση του πλάνου.
On your left, you can see the Omnisburg residence. It hosted receptions and balls which were, for the time, musical accompaniment on the piano.
Δεξιά μας μπορείτε να δείτε την πύλη της ξηράς. Κατασκευάστηκε το 1708. Αποτελούσε τη μοναδική είσοδο της κάτω πόλης από τη Στυριά. Επίσης, μπορείτε να δείτε τον μαρμάρινο Ανδριάντα του ήρωα της Ελληνικής Επανάστασης στα 20 Ιτόπουλου.
On our right, we can see the land gate. It was built in 1708 and it was the only entrance to the city by land. You can also see a marble statue of the revolutionary hero Stakos Stakopoulos.
Αριστερά βρίσκεται ο παλιός σιδηροδρομικός σταθμός της πόλης. Ένα από τα ομορφότερα σημεία της πόλης.
Alright, let me know if you still see me and hear me. Slam that like button if you're enjoying this video.
On our left, we can see the old railway station of Nafplio, one of the most of the city, and next to it, where the old station warehouse was, a museum dedicated to children of Athens.
Sadly, the trains no longer run. We're trying to get funding for trains to run again, at least for
Δεξιά
passenger
μας
trains.
βλέπετε το ιστορικό εκκλησάκι του Αγίου Ιωάννη. Εδώ εκκλησιάζεται ο Ιωάννης Καποδίστριας και ακριβώς δίπλα στο βήμα ήταν χτισμένη η έπαυλή του, η οποία έχει καταστραφεί ολοσχερός.
On our right, we can see the historical church of Agaios Ioannis. Ioannis Kapodistrias used to attend mass here as his ranking, which was thoroughly destroyed, stood next to it.
Καταλαμβάνει τις βορειοανατολικές πλαγιές του λόφου του Παλαμιδίου. Είναι ιδιαίτερα σημαντικό γιατί αποτελεί το πρώτο οργανωμένο προσφυγικό οικισμό της νεότερης Ελλάδας. Λέγεται ότι ο Καποδίστριας ονόμασε τον οικισμό πρόνοια επειδή προνόησε για το στεγαστικό πρόβλημα των προσφύγων. Τον Ιούλιο του 1832, στην κεντρική πλατεία, έγινε η τέταρτη εθνοσυνέλευση της Ελλάδας και εξελέγει βασιλιάς Όθων.
The Separate Konya occupies the northeastern slopes of the Palamida Hill. It is of special importance because it constitutes the first organized refugee settlement in modern Greece. It is said that Capodistria named it Cronium, which means to provide for, because the settlement provided a solution to the accommodation problem faced by the refugees. In its central square, in June 1832, the Fourth National Congress met to vote for the confirmation and recognition of King Otto.
Τον Ιερό Ναό της Ευαγγελίστριας. Επίσης, στο επόμενο στενάκι δεξιά επάνω, μπορείτε να δείτε το ιστορικό εκκλησάκι των Αγίων Πάντων. Χτίστηκε το 1515. Γύρω από το ναό βρισκόταν το παλιό νεκροταφείο της πόλης.
High up on your right, you can see the Orthodox Church of Evangelistia. On your right as well, you can see the historical church of Agio Paulus. Its existence is known from the Second Venetian occupation, and around it is the old city graveyard.
Δεξιά, πάνω στο βράχο, βλέπουμε τον κινούμενο Λέοντα. Λίγους χρόνους αυτού αγάλματος ήταν ο Γερμανός Κρίστιαν Ζίγκελ, ο οποίος υπήρξε ο πρώτος καθηγητής ληπτικής στο Πολυτεχνείο Αθηνών. Το μνημείο παραγγέλθηκε από τον βασιλέα της Ουγγαρίας Λουδοβίκο, πέρα του πρώτου βασιλέα των Ελλήνων Έθνη. Στη μνήμη των βαβαρών στρατιωτών που άνοικαν στην ακολουθία του Έθωνα που είχαν πεθάνει από επιδημία τούτου. Οι Βαβαροί είχαν εγκατασταθεί στο κοντινό νεκροταφείο των Αγίων Πάντων, βορειοανατολικά της Ευαγγελίστριας.
On our right, you can see an exceptional sculpted monument of the 19th century known as the Lion of Bavaria. It dates from 1840-1841 and portrays a lion that seems to be sleeping. The sculptor of this beautiful monument was the German Christian Ziegel, who was the first professor of sculpture at Athens Polytechnic. Below the lion, there is an inscription that informs us that the monument was commissioned by Ludwig of Bavaria, father of Otto, first king of Greece, in memory of the Bavarian soldiers in Otto's escort who died during the typhoid epidemic which devastated the area between 1833 and 1834. They were buried in the graveyard of Agio Paulus in an area which became known as the Bavarian Monument.
Στεγάζεται στο παλιό Δημαρχείο Ναφπλίου, το κτίριο Ιατρού, στην πλατεία Φιλελλήνου. Είναι ένα ερευνητικό κέντρο και έχει ως βασικό σκοπό της λειτουργίας του να προβάλλει σε διεθνή κλίμακα τις ανθρωπιστικές αξίες των Ελλήνων και την αντίστοιχή τους ανά το χώρο.
The Center for Hellenic Studies in Greece is a cultural and educational research center based in Nafplio, Greece. It is a managed College University Center for Hellenic Studies in Washington, D.C. The center is housed in the historic Lepo building, formerly home to the municipal town hall of Nafplio at Philippine Square. It is a research center whose main goal of functioning is to support Greek studies and highlight over an international scale the humanitarian values of the Greeks and their impact over the centuries.
Το γωνιακό κτίριο στέγαζε το πρώτο πολιτικό νοσοκομείο της πόλης μας. Το κτίριο αναπαλαιώθηκε και στεγάζει ένα από τα τρία παρακτήματα της Εθνικής Πινακοθήκης της χώρας μας.
On your left, you can see a National Gallery annex which has works on the Greek Revolution. It was the building that housed the first hospital of the city.
So fortunately they're playing popular Greek music, so I had to mute. That's one.
Αριστερά μας βλέπουμε το πάρκο της πόλης. Στο κέντρο του πάρκου βρισκόταν ο μνημειακός έδικος Αδριάτας του ήρωα της Ελληνικής Επανάστασης και Όγωρο Κολοκοτρώνη. Δημιούργημα το οποίο πρωτοτυπήθηκε από τον Γλύκο Νάζαρο Σόφο στο Παρίσι.
On your left, you can see the Kolokotronis Park. In the center of the park stands a statue of the Theodoros Kolokotronis, hero of the Revolution. The statue was created by the sculptor Nazaros Sofo in Paris.
Αριστερά, στο μέσο της πλατείας, βρίσκεται το ταυτικό μνημείο με τα οστά του Δημήτρου Ψηλάτη. Επίσης, πίσω από τους φοίνικες, μπορείτε να δείτε το άγγελο του Όθωνα, όπου εκεί άλλοτε βρισκόταν το Κυβερνείο ή Παλατάκι, όπου καταστράφηκε από πυρκαγιά το 1929.
On your left, in the middle of the square, is the funeral monument of one of the leaders of the Greek Revolution, Dimitris Psyllakis. Behind the palm trees, you can see the statue of King Otto, the once stood the Leaning Palace, which was destroyed by fire in 1929.
Αριστερά μας βλέπετε το Πολεμικό Μουσείο, το οποίο στεγάζεται στο νεοκλασικό κτίριο όπου λειτουργήσε η πρώτη σχολή επελπίδων της Ελλάδας.
On your left stands the War Museum, which once was the first central military school of Greece.
αριστερά μας, το κτίριο του παλιού Παθηναγωγείου Ναφπλίου στεγάζει τη δημόσια βιβλιοθήκη που ιδρύθηκε το 1951.
On your left, you can see the public library, which was founded in 1951 as a provision of the city's Great House.
Γενιάστηκε το 1836.
On your right, you can see the Church of Athens Nafplio, which was inaugurated in 1836.
Δεξιά βλέπουμε το Μέγαρο Ιατρού, στο οποίο τώρα στεγάζεται το Κέντρο Ελληνικών Σπουδών Ελλάδος του Πανεπιστημίου Harvard.
And on the right side, we see the Megron Yatru building, which now houses the Center of Hellenic Studies, Harvard University.
Oh. And we're back.
Δεξιά μας βλέπουμε το διθαλάσσιο φρύο της πόλης με την τουρκική ονομασία Μπούργη, δηλαδή Πύργος, και είναι το σήμα κατά τεθέν της πόλης του Ναφπλίου. Οικοδομήθηκε το 1493 από τους Ενετούς.
On your right, you can see the seaport of the city, Kaburgi. Its name is Turkish and means tower, and is the trademark of the city. It was built in 1473 from the Venetians.
Σας ευχαριστούμε πολύ. Κατεβαίνετε όλοι προσεκτικά, αφού πρώτα κινητοποιηθεί το όχημα.
Thank you for joining us. Please wait until the train comes to the full stop before stepping off.
All right. So that was the trolley tour, €4. Awesome. I highly recommend it. I'm going to try to catch this boat right now. But the meeting point here is at the port area where you see that fortification there in the distance. So let me see if I can catch this boat. Pardon. Kalimera. To the castle? Yeah. For one. How much? €5. €5. If I still can sit in the front or no? All right. Okay, so we are now taking a boat to this fortification that was built by the Venetians, then later taken over by the Ottoman Turks. And then once modern Greece started after 1820s, it became the home of executioners. Because in that time, people did not want to live right next to executioners. I bet the executioners probably came from very dodgy pasts themselves. So they end up taking residence right over here, continuing their duties as needed. Usually their duties would be back here in the mainland, but that's where they lived in the mid-1800s. And we're heading over there right now. So we're taking this boat ride to get there. It's €5, not too bad. And you can tell that there's good tourism infrastructure here because Nafplio is actually one of the very first tourist spots in Greece, especially in modern times in the 1800s, mid-1800s. This was more popular than even Athens. I'm super excited. And Timposi, the name is Burtsi. Robert says, just you on the boat? Nope, there's a lot of tourists on the other side of the boat. They're in the back of the boat, I think. Am I at the back or in the front? I'm not sure. But they're on the other side of the boat. I just usually avoid sitting from the crowd because I want to continue live streaming. So lots of cafes over here in Nafplio. People might also call it Nafplion with an N. Back in Ottoman times, they sometimes would cut off the N and just call it Nafplio. It sounds very similar to Napoli as well, because it eventually ended up taking the meaning of new city, but apparently has mythological origins. Oleg says, this is the Greek Alcatraz? Technically not. It was never a prison, but it was a residence for executioners. No, no worries.
Δεν χρειάζεται εισιτήρια, απλά πλήρωσε.
Behold, Buzzi Castle, here off the coast of Nafplio, the original capital of Greece. That's why you never wear a hat. That's why the Greeks can tell. If you wear a hat, you're a tourist. All right, the Buzzi Fortress at the castle town of Nafplio. Nafplio was inhabited since prehistoric times and rose to a position of great power during the Byzantine era. Its successive conquests and occupations by foreign rulers over the 6 centuries therefore have determined the fate and form of this town that is maintained till now. The city was originally sited on the highest part of the Acrophilia Peninsula. Wow. Gracias. Wow. This is so cool.
Πόσο άτομα είστε? Ναι, 5 ευρώ το άτομο είναι το εισιτήριο.
Μέσα.
Ναι.
Α, δεν θέλει μέσα.
Θα πάτε εσείς, εγώ δεν μπορώ.
Hey, is it open?
Sorry?
Is it open?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
5 euros is a ticket.
Yes,
per
please.
person.
One, please, yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, do you have change?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, that was €5. I paid via cash, but they accepted card as well. Burtsi Fortress in the 20th and 21st century. The Burtsi Fortress was leased in the 1930s to an entrepreneur from Nafplio, and since then has a function as an accommodation and a holiday unit. Wow, this was a hotel from the 1930s to about the 70s. As the hotel permanently closed, till the 1960s. As the hotel closed in the 1960s, the fortress remained closed for several years until reopened in 1985. Wow. So I want to give a huge shout out to the super chatters, especially April, and there was a few others that super chatted for a new shirt. So thank you so much. I ended up getting a new linen shirt. I ended up getting this in Naxos when I stopped over about 5 days ago or so, a little bit more, 6 days ago. And I'm wearing it today because to represent Greece, Greece blue. So ladies and gentlemen, this was a hotel from fortification of the Venetians built by them in the 1400s to a fortification for the Ottomans who took over Greece for more than 400 years, to the home of executioners who were ousted from regular Nafplion society, to a place for socialites to stay in a hotel as they visited one of the very first tourist hotspots of Greece. Before Mykonos, before Santorini, before even Athens, there was Nafplio. Suzy says, I love the shirt. It's so cool. Yeah, thank you. Veronique says, cool color. Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Wow, cool. Wow. This is like a little mini morro from Puerto Rico. Oh, so cool. All right, let me know if you see me and hear me once again. Of course, with fortifications, they did not only stop huge cannons from rival armies, or interlopers, or saboteurs, or pirates, it also stopped cell phone reception. So these fortifications work for various reasons. They fortify against live streamers. I mean, my ancestor, who was a pirate, Roberto Cofresi, in Puerto Rico, known as the Robin Hood of the Caribbean, he probably would have had a tough time getting to walls like these in the Caribbean. So I have a tough time as a live streamer getting to walls like these. Life is rather circular. All right, let's read the sign. The organization of the fortress's defense capacity incorporated all the techniques and applications developed in the discipline by the 15th century. Wow, sometimes they make these a bit too wordy. They gotta simplify these things. They get a little bit too academic. The north gate is in form of a rectangular tower, which is the integral part of the outer fortification wall. Interesting. Two originally roofless now are roofed, irregular shaped artillery emplacements. Oh, interesting. So here, how it looks above. Mika says, "Oh yes, Ariel, that sure has a great color." Oh, thank you so much, Mika. And here are the skylights. Here's where we send all the commenters who are banned. Alexa says, where are the blue squares? I'm not sure. The blue squares are their skylights. I mean, originally it probably were also skylights for the original fortification. This appears to be a modern addition to it, but they're functioning as skylights in essence. They might have had another use, but I assume one of the uses is to allow light inside. Susie says, tread carefully. Yep, this is where we store all of them. Hundreds. People often wonder, hey, why is your comment section so nice? Everyone's so nice on Urbanist live streams. Oh, they're all, they all get along, and wow, you just attract such a great following. Oh no, ladies and gentlemen, that has taken years and years of people disappearing under the darkness of night, stored right under here in these fortifications. Legend has it you can still hear the moans of trolls yearning to come back to the Urbanist comment section, but knowing they never will. Ooh. Basil says, is this linen? Yes, this is linen. This is a linen shirt made in Crete. Full 100% linen. Wow. I'm afraid I won't get cell phone reception if I go inside here, but let me see if I can peek and see something from the outside. Wow. So Basil and a few other people asked me about the Greek islands. Have I been to Phoenicia Beach in Crete? No, I didn't have time. I was tempted to go. I decided not to. It would have been an entire day trip. I didn't have a car, so I would have had to go on a day trip. It would have been like a 9-hour, 10-hour day trip to that beach. Otherwise, I'm no longer on the Greek island. Well, at this exact moment, technically I am. But Nafplio is not an island. It's part of the mainland. It's in the Peloponnesian region of Greece. I have a full vlog of Deeper into the Peloponnese with my friend Evan, who soon is going to host urbanist-style tours of Greece in spring 2024. So stay tuned. I'll be announcing those details closer to Christmas when the tour will go live, hosted by my friend Evan. He'll take you on a 1-week adventure through Greece and the Peloponnese, and it will be curated by him and I, so you'll get an urbanist experience in real life. So let me see if I can pop up a map of where we're at. Yeah, there we go. All right. This is currently where we're located. 2 hour plus bus drive away from Athens. And this is where we're located in the Peloponnese. Kay says, I'm looking forward to that. Hey, I'm so glad. Yeah, I'm so glad. It'll be a fully organized tour. Lodging will be included. You just have to get yourself to Athens for this particular tour. The rest is all taken care of by my friend Evan. He's hosting it. I truly trust him as a tour guide after spending a week with him and collaborating with him twice before. I really could tell that he gets the urbanist spirit out of exploration. So I'm so excited to hand him the baton and let him take you on these real life experiences, starting with Greece. And then later on, we'll be expanding to other European countries. Well, you'll see it first on Urbanist, you'll see the full adventure, and then you yourself can join in real life with Evan. Christine's crowds. No crowds. Luckily, it's awesome. But this is a pretty heavy touristed area. I think we're just nearing the end of the tourist season. So they're not going to be as crowded as they used to. Alex says, where are you at now? I'm in the city of Nafplio, the very first capital of Greece in modern times. And we are in the fortress of Boutsi, which we see right in front. We got here by boat. The boat's coming back. I might take it back. €5 for the boat ride, €5 to get inside the castle. In these small spaces. So, ladies and gentlemen, be careful being a very tall 5'2", because otherwise, yeesh. I wonder if it's €5 to go back on the boat. Hey, Mara says, I suppose it was quite lonely here. No, I think Nafplio would put, maybe here, yes. Okay, so I think you're referring to the castle itself. Maybe, I'm not sure how many people would have been manned here, but there's a chance it could have been pretty empty. Susie asked about the executions. They took place.
Nein, wechseln vor. Oder hängst an Füße wie.
That was really cool. Susie says it froze when you answered. The executions would have taken place in the main square in the city. I'm not exactly sure where, but it would have taken place right in the middle of the city. This fortress was the home of... Maybe I should do a TikTok. C. Denny says, it looks so nice. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, it is. I might cut this up into a TikTok, so I'm going to say, stay curious, my friends. And do another point. Gotta do a better point. Sometimes that's the trickiest part when it comes to the TikTok. Like all the other stuff is easy, but the point, ooh, that one you just gotta get like that, like a laser. All right, there's music on this boat, so I'm gonna mute and enjoy some Greek music as we're getting on the boat. And we are back. A lot of that music was from the Afterworld album, available on Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes. So search Afterworld by Urbanist or search Urbanist. It's the same logo, and you'll find 5 original albums. While you were listening to some epic orchestral music, I was listening to country and top 40 that guy was playing. So different vibes, very different vibes. Sometimes it's weird listening to American country music when met with beautiful views like this. Okay, so now let's wander around. Let's see the old town by walking. So we've gone by trolley, we went on a boat. Let's walk. Kay says that was fun. Yeah, I agree, Kay. Hello, Reed. Nice to see you. Good morning, says Alexis. Coffee and this. Ooh, great combination. So, before we continue exploring, I have something serious to talk about. I've recently has come clear to my attention that I have potentially tens of thousands, if not maybe hundreds of thousands of viewers out there that love the show, watch all the time, but never comment. If you're watching the show right now and never commented before, say hello. It's okay, everyone's friendly here. All the trolls have been kept away at that fortification that we visited. They're deep into those dungeons. Underground, there's a massive system of caves where thousands of trolls are kept under lock and key. So this is a safe space over here. Nonetheless, I really do appreciate everyone tuning in, regardless if you comment or not. So thank you. All right, let's explore. Spencer says that I don't always comment, but I'll do better. Yeah, I'm near 400,000 subscribers. I'm 10,000 away, or a little bit less, 9,000 away. And when people see me on the street, they say, "Hey, I love your videos." And I say, "Hey, what's your name? Have you commented?" And a lot of them say, "Oh, no, I don't comment, but I love watching them." So if you think this looks rather Venetian, well, it's because it is. Most of the city was built during Venetian times, what we're seeing today. A lot of neoclassical architecture. Well, Venetian style architecture. And then later on it was built even further. This is a cool mosaic. You know, I so wish I can show you these beautiful churches. Some of them are truly stunning, just like Catholic churches that I'm able to walk in France or in Italy or in parts of Germany. But fortunately here, they never like video, so sad. I'm not sure where I'm going, but I'm going. What's for brunch? Says Janice. You know, I ate brunch at a place called Calimera, which means good morning. It was really good. I'll pop up photo. So I'm not gonna eat anything right now, but maybe we'll pop in for a bite a little bit later. But this was my brunch. It was a sausage, feta, tomato, egg omelet with a little bit of orange pie, a feta espresso schietto, which means a cold espresso, no sugar, and some water and some bread. It was really good. And a place called Calimera. Oh, cool. Old photos. I wonder who these guys are. Soldiers? From what war? I wonder. Wow, this is an old style hotel. This looks maybe like 30s or 40s, maybe 50s.
So you will speak how many minutes? Or just until tomorrow? Yeah. Thank you so much, and we'll definitely.
Oleg says live streaming is a format which allows watchers to interact with the host and each other. This is why we like the format. Friendly jokes are welcome. Hey Oleg, yeah. It's the beauty about live video. Of course I'm teasing the viewers. Anyone feel free to watch whatever way you want. I really, all is good. Watch whatever way you would like. But yes, that's what I love about live video. It is rather interactive, so it's awesome. Colleen says, I just finished eating my omelet. Oh, that's so cool. You know, here in Greece, this is a good breakfast country. Here you'll find good, if you're used to good, savory, hearty breakfast, this is the place. Not every country does breakfast. Actually, breakfast, it's actually rather rare outside of the US, the UK, Ireland, and Greece, you know, because Italy, France, they really don't do breakfast. You're able to find breakfast, of course, if you want to, a big one, but generally it's a sweet little pastry and that's it. Same thing in most other places, Germany, same thing. Alexis says, surprised there's so many cars here in these tiny streets. Yep, very common in Greece, and not even in Greece, you see this in Italy, we saw this in France. These sometimes medieval villages and people cram their cars into it. Ooh. Old school postcards. Oh, wow. Oh, I'm coming back here. So if you're a mega urbanist, I will be here in September, so people will be getting postcards from Greece. One more set. I'll make 3 months of postcards. Do let me know if you like the artsier postcards, because I love them. I usually tend to focus on giving people the more common, the more kind of typical postcard. But if you really love the artsy ones, do let me know. Send me a message if you're a mega urbanist, contributing $20 or more on patreon.com/urbanist. And I'm happy to send you one of these. A little bit more photography or painting, watercolor. So I'm coming back there. Reason I won't buy it right now is because souvenir stores like Greek Orthodox churches don't like being filmed, which is different. It's kind of, in the US and Western Europe, it's not really an issue, but one of the few places where just they don't like filming. Oh, old Ottoman water fountain. Hello, Lorraine. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope all is well. And welcome, everyone. Let me know where you're watching from. If you haven't commented before, let us know who you are. Let us know where you're watching from. So right here, the Ottomans took over Nafplio and Greece in general and occupied it for nearly 400 years. But the Venetians and the Turks, Ottomans, were at each other's throats for centuries. So it kind of flip-flopped Nafplio between Ottomans and between Ottomans and Venetians a few times. But nonetheless, the Ottomans, as they occupied the city, they also built their own public works. A lot of those public works are destroyed. A lot of those minarets and Ottoman-style buildings were gone because the Greeks didn't want anything to do with Turkey anymore or the Ottomans. However, there's a few survivors, like here, the Ottoman fountains, water fountains. Well, a few kind of remains that you'll see of Ottoman culture here in Nafplio. Alex says, where do I have to do to get a postcard? If people are curious about receiving a postcard, become a patron at patreon.com/urbanist. Patreon.com/urbanist. $20 or more a month, and you get access to the postcard club. Otherwise, patrons get access to bonus footage. More bonus footage will be posted once the documentary starts coming out. There's going to be tons of bonus footage associated with the documentary. And for anyone who's a patron, do let me know, what was your favorite type of bonus content? I used to make a lot of 360 videos, but not all of them got that many views, so I kind of stopped making them. So let me know, what's your favorite type of bonus content? Is it 360 videos? Is it extended cuts of my TikToks? Is it museum tours? Here I haven't really seen too many museums that I've been curious to film, but in other countries I've shown you full museum tours. So let me know, what's your favorite type of bonus content? Brigitte, fun watching you live while I'm eating lunch in Norway. Hey, Brigitte, that's so cool that you're in Norway. Nice to see you here. Skål. Ooh, postcards. Susie says, I like the extended cuts to the director's cuts. Ooh. Thank you, Ron. I appreciate that. Lorraine says, beautiful postcards we got. Veronique says, this street was nice. Yeah, I wish I can walk around the street more, but unfortunately it was bad cell phone reception. Hey, why is there a Scottish flag? Is that what the hell? Crazy breeze today. Wow. That's a All right, so here we have 2 houses for sale. Let me know if you want one. I'll put in an offer. Let me know if you see me and hear me. All right, perfect. Shaky service inside these streets. Hey, welcome everyone. Oh, cool. Look. I love these. This is probably the area in Greece where I've seen most Greek flags. I'm kind of stunned to see so much Greek flags flying. Timbosi says, it's known to us Greeks that Nafplio has bad internet reception. Oh, it does. It's known for that. Interesting. Wow, so many cars on these tiny streets. And yep, the streets are marble. This is nice. So to get up here, you will have to climb 999 steps, according to the legendary number. Some people say it's actually 897. Some people say it's actually 911. But nonetheless, it is 700 feet high. That means this is the size of a pretty big New York City skyscraper. It's about 0.75 of an Empire State Building. 700 feet is like 70 stories. What? That's crazy high. Holy stuff. Holy shizzle. That can't be that high. So generally, every 10 feet is about one story. Story meaning a floor. And this is 270 meters, which is about 700 feet. I think that's the conversion. Do let me know. If so, that is insanely high. It might be a little bit less. Someone can let me know the conversion. 240 meters into feet. Or 270 meters into feet. Why is there a truck that says bakery? This is a bus. Susie says, what's up there? It says this is a fortification. It's now mostly a tourist attraction, not really in use. It is one of the heroes of the Greek Revolution, 1821. I love the style of these Greek revolutionaries. They had great fashion sense. This little cafe looks charming. Hey, Michelle says, good to see you. Where do you get all your energy from? That's a good question, Michelle. So I do rituals late at night to the Dark Lords. I drink coffee. Yes. I drink coffee. No Dark Lords, no rituals. Yeah, so if I so. Huh? Oh, it's 40 cents. Oh, okay, if I so. Alright, for some reason it's cheaper here. Ludo says it's Iri la Musaka. Hey, loving the blue of your shirt to match your Scottish blue eyes, says Susie. I am wearing both Greek blue and I'm also wearing Scottish blue because it's like literally the same shade. Michelle says I should make my own brand of coffee. I will one day. Oh yeah. Sunset says I remind you of Puerto Rico. How's that? Climbing all those steps does not look so pleasant. There's another way to get up there, and it's via taxi. Let me know, would you climb all those stairs? Right up there. I may take a taxi there a little bit later in the day and transfer up there. Kay says this is cobalt blue. Yeah, indeed it is cobalt blue. LAB says no. Yeah, this looks rather daunting. It's tempting, but oh my god. If it were cooler, if there were less clouds, it would be a good workout. And then, oh, that's funny. Okay, everyone. So you climb these 999 steps, 999 steps, and then you got to pay $8 of admission. So you've gone through all that hard work. You've gone through that labor, all that painful labor, hours and hours of labor, and then suddenly you realize you gotta pay. Actually, sounds similar to actual labor of a mother, but it's quite poetic. So go through all that labor, and you still gotta pay. Colleen says, I'm enjoying your streaming. This family is going for it eagerly. I don't think these kids know what they're in for. These kids, this is child naivety, ladies and gentlemen. You know when they say that children are innocent, they are naive sometimes to the world and its pains and sufferings. I think those kids are. They're like, yeah, let's go. I bet they'll be beat 15 minutes in. Tiposi says there is a price to pay. Nothing is free nowadays. Indeed. All right, let me see if I can maybe spontaneously capture a taxi. Or maybe we could grab a coffee. Let me know. Susie says those parents are cruel. Yeah, I'm not sure what that dad is doing. Lorraine votes for coffee. Oh, what is this over here? Check this out. Zebra crossing, they ain't stopping. Hermes votes for coffee. Susie votes for a snack. Lorraine also votes for coffee. LAB says Action Kid might try it. Oh, I know he will. Ashton Kid walks in the hot, burning sun in Miami, walking on the highway. I have no doubts. No doubts. Oh, this is the first train station. Ah, that's cool. All right. All right, this beats 999 steps. Let's go check out the first train station. Or the only train station. The Peloponnese has a train network, though it's not in use. It's basically abandoned. Here's the train tracks. And it's so sad. You used to be able to get to Athens to Nafplio by train. I think it would have taken about 3 hours, maybe a little bit less. Actually, it would take about three hours. Marie says, I'm almost ready for dinner. Touche, Marie. Touche. Me too. Hey, Colleen says, I'm enjoying your stream and your company. Hey, Colleen, I'm so happy you're enjoying this. Wow. Ludo votes for coffee, but at the end of the 999 steps. Oleg says it's a ghost railroad. It is a ghost railroad. It's kind of creepy. It's creepy. This is a ghost station. Wow. There's an office here. Oh my God, what is that? Are these bullet holes? What the? What is this? What happened here? So this will be New York in 20 years if we continue to abandon our poor train system. Susie says, are we back in Bushwick? Oh, Bushwick doesn't have an abandoned train, but does have tracks that are barely used. So yeah, it's a bit reminiscent of Bushwick. Wow. Ludo says, let's ride it. I wish, but the tracks are basically non-existent nowadays. Big hunk of metal. Imagine after I knock, it knocks back. Oh, Susie says it reminds you of Bushwick because of the bullet holes. Oh no. Whoa. Could be a dead body in there. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. Kind of looks like, oh, let's bury the body in the place where people least expect it, right in the middle of town, right in the abandoned train. No one know the wiser. Oh, we got Pericles the pigeon, one of Bob's longtime friends. Ooh, sculptures. From abandoned trains to sculptures. Look at this. Ludo says it looks like a war zone. Yeah, well now we got sculptures here, so, and it's empty, so it looks like the Langoliers by Stephen King. Oh, wow. So symbolic. Pure marble. Hello? Is anyone out there? Out there, out there, out there. Which way is the coffee? That way? He's pointing that way. I think that way is the coffee. One of the heroes, another of the heroes of the Greek Revolution. Ludo says you look like the last man on the planet. That's how I feel like right now. Hey, Tim Posey says this is Kolokotronis. Kolokotronis. Yes. One of the liberators of Greece from the Ottoman Turks. I think he was assassinated. Was that the guy who was assassinated? Ioannis Kolokotronis? Wow, this is a cool hotel. Hotel Nyemen. I'm not sure what that says. Hello, hello. Okay, so Nafplio strikes me as a place to just come for a day trip. I don't think there's that much to see here, but it's a really cool place. We're walking towards the newer town, but let's go back to the old town, find some coffee or a bite. Let's see what we can find. The wind is kind of strong today. Whew. These guys go fast. Nafplio has good nightlife, says Tim Posey. Yes. Woke up for the extra early in New York to watch Ariel's live stream. Hey, Ramiz. Nice to see you here. I'm amazed how few people are around, says Spencer. Me too, but it's a Monday and tourism season is basically at an end. So now Greece starts getting quieter. And there's not that many people. around. And I think also siesta, so people come out a little bit later in the night. What are transportation systems like? Asked Michelle. So Michelle, I took a bus here, cost me €24 round trip from Athens. 2 hours and 20 minutes per ride. Not too bad. The bus was packed, so it's better to buy tickets a little bit ahead of time. Buy them, either come to the bus station about an hour early or buy them online. Online is a bit hard to find, but usually most bus services start with KTEL, Ketel. That is their name across all of Greece. Most bus companies start with that, and then they have like a region name attached to it. And that's the way I've been able to buy bus tickets online, but you do have to get them printed at the bus station. The bus station, unfortunately, is hard to get to via public transportation or walking in Athens. So you have to take an Uber to the bus station. Otherwise than that, if you can take Uber to the bus station or Free Now or a taxi, you get to the bus station, it's very easy. Most bus stations in the rest of Greece tend to stop in the middle of the city, unlike in Athens. And otherwise than that, trains, really the only place I think you can really catch a train is the northern part of Greece. So from Athens towards Thessaloniki would be easier for trains. Otherwise, you're gonna have a tough time with trains anywhere else. And then beyond that, ferries. The ferries are very good. And you can get to most Greek islands fairly easily, and some of them very quickly. So you could potentially even take a day trip to Mykonos using a high-speed ferry from Piraeus, the Athens port. So it is doable. Or you could do much shorter day trips. There's a bunch of islands that are much closer. Hydra, Aegina, I think is one of the names of the islands. There's a few others. So this is the government house of Kapodistrias, Ioannis Kapodistrias. This was the very first leader of the Free Greek government. He ended up investing in this building. It was the grandest mansion of Greece at that time, of Nafplio. But unfortunately, later on, he was assassinated in one of the nearby churches. The bullet holes are apparently still at that church, which I'm going to try to find a little bit later. Well, here he is. This mustachioed man. Thank you to Posies. Yes, they have similar names from my, since I don't know Greek, they look very similar in names, but yeah, this is the leader, and he was assassinated. Kay says, looks like the end of August is best time to visit. What heat and this scorching wind, you are brave to stay under this temperature and without your cap, says Jane. I think so. I gotta reapply sunscreen very soon. Marie says, I'm not a beach person, so if I had a hotel, I had a pool, I could easily stay in Nafplio and love it. Yeah, I mean, I don't see too much to see in Nafplio. Nafplio might be a good launching point for day trips to the Peloponnese. I gotta check, but I would venture a guess that there was probably a good selection of day trips from here. So I think Nafplio might be worth visiting for 4 or 5 days if you want to explore more of the Peloponnese. Or if you rent yourself a car, I think this would be a great base as well. And then you might be able to do day trips using bus. That might be viable. Tony says it doesn't look too busy, no? No. Not in the least bit. Timbosi says Nafplio, Kalamata, and Mani are the best places to visit in the Peloponnese. Yes. I haven't been to Mani yet. I did go to Kalamata briefly. I did enjoy it. So I know what you mean. And yeah, I think it's worth visiting the Peloponnese. The Peloponnese are great, so watch my vlog about the Peloponnese. I explore for nearly a week all around the Peloponnese. Well, it was 3 days for the vlog. 3 days I explored the Peloponnese, showed a lot of different sites. You can see caves, you can see beautiful medieval ruins in the hills, you can see ancient Sparta, you can see a whole host of different places. So it's 100% worth coming here to the Peloponnese. You'll have to do day trips if you don't have a car. But if you do have a car, there's pretty good highways in the Peloponnese, so you'll be able to drive fairly easily. Okay. Espera. How about lucumades, freddo espresso schietto, and a large water, please. Thank you so much. All right, everyone. So this is our final stop today. I hope you enjoyed this day trip here in Nafplio. I'm going to visit a little bit more, so you might see a short video, 1 or 2 of them, of the places I can visit. Maybe the castle, I'll go via taxi up there. And then maybe I'll go somewhere else and show you a little bit more sights on short videos. But let's have, for our final stop here, let's have a coffee and some donuts, lucumades. Lucumades is a specialty here in Greece. It's deep fried dough balls, basically donut holes, usually served with honey and other toppings, maybe like cinnamon. And I'm excited to have some. And wow. Camilla says, just in time for the end. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll stick around for about 10 minutes. I don't have too much time here in Nafplio because I do have to catch the bus back. The last bus is at 8, but I booked myself a bus before then. So if you are taking a day trip here, 8 will probably be your absolute maximum. So I would recommend coming here pretty early. Take at least the 9:30 a.m. bus, like I did, and then you'll have plenty of time here in Nafplio to explore. And I think if you take the bus at 8, you'll have plenty of stuff to do, and it'll be pretty relaxing. Here in Greece, especially when you travel, I would recommend not packing too many things, especially if you're here in the summertime, because the summer can get rather hot, like it is today. I might not feel the full extent of the heat because there's so much wind, but it is hot. after the donuts, you'll be running up those 999 steps, says Spencer. Hey, yeah, Spencer. That's right. I think I might take a taxi up there. I might climb the steps down, but I think I'm going to take a taxi up there. Neil says, watching you for donkey years, Ariel. Keep up the great work from Netherlands. Hey, Niels Van Dam. Oh, I love your name. Niels Van Dam. I think Niels. Is that how it's pronounced in Dutch? Niels? That's awesome, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate that. Marie says, are you going back to Athens? Yes, I came here from Athens, so I'll be going back to Athens. I'm not staying in Nafplio. Though, if I were to want to see more of the Peloponnese, I would stay here for like 5 days and take day trips to Mycenae, to the theater at Epidaurus. Corinth is also nearby. Many other places. Yeah, sis. If I still. If I still. So Niels is sponsoring this coffee break. Thank you so much, Niels. I appreciate that. C says Athens is great. Do you like Greece more, or do you prefer Greece 2? That's a good pun, Lawrence. I actually haven't seen the movie Grease spelled differently. Thank you. I haven't seen the movie Grease spelled differently. Never tried seeing Grease. I tried to see Mamma Mia #1. I couldn't stand it. It was so badly filmed, the first one. But I heard that Mamma Mia 2 is one of the rare sequels that is miles better than Mamma Mia 1. So maybe I should give Mamma Mia 2 a try. Let me know. We got Freddo Espresso. Now, I prefer a Freddo Americano. It's actually my top drink. I don't bother ordering it because I think most of the places outside of Athens won't really get what I mean. But Freddo Americano, it just means I just cut the Freddo Espresso a little bit with water. Add a little bit of water. Sometimes I would add more, but here it's just a little bit. Just makes it a little bit lighter. You have a little bit more drink. That's the only difference. Sometimes this coffee is a bit kind of salty flavor. This is the second time I've encountered this in Greece, and I'm not sure why. It's not like bad. I think it's the beans, like the type of beans that they're buying. It's not bad coffee. It's not bitter or like it's a good quality bean. It just has a salty taste to it. I'm not sure what. This is the second time I've encountered this. I'm not sure what type of beans they're using. Gladys says, Freddo Espresso is supposed to be drunk slowly. Indeed, 3 hours. Drink this. I only watched Mamma Mia after going to Skathios and Skopolos. I wish Skathios and Skopolos were much easier to get to, but they're not. Marina says, your expression says it all. Yeah, has a strange taste to it. Here we have a tour. Oh, I wonder if this is one of Rick Steves' tour groups. Hey Lorraine, thank you so much for the stars. I appreciate that. Greece is really giving you a glow, says Kamala. Really? It is. That's the best skincare, ladies and gentlemen. The best skincare you can get is coming to a country like Greece. How's the Greece economy? I get a lot of people asking me that, Lawrence. I'm by no means an economist. I've done a little bit of research on Greek economy. It has recovered. There is a boom in real estate, especially in cities like Athens. There is a boom. Real estate is getting much more expensive. But at the same time, it's less and less people buying them. It's more foreigners buying real estate. And the locals are starting to get priced out. So Greeks are starting to not be able to afford property in Greek cities and the islands. And it's usually foreigners, a lot of them are Israeli, others coming from Dubai, Middle East, America, UK, Western Europe, are starting to buy a lot of property here. So that the economy is a bit, it's similar to New York, where there's a boom, there's an influx of money, but that money is not coming from New Yorkers. Same thing here in Greece. There's an influx of money, but it's not coming from Greeks. The other downside is a lot of Greeks are educated significantly. I've met so many Greeks that are masters in architecture, engineering, doctors. They have very high level education. They make a quarter of what an architect or an engineer or a professor or a doctor would make in the US or make in France or even Spain. They're making less here than they would in Spain. So it is pretty bad. I don't see people who are suffering necessarily, but the economy is much lower than it is compared to other parts of the EU. Kay says, I have to go. We'll catch up later. Kay, thank you so much for tuning in. Foreigners get free villas in Norway, while the natives have to pay a lot, says Meta. Oh, no. This is an issue. This is not an issue specific to Greece. This is very common all around the Western world. Maybe also including East Asia, but yeah, definitely all around the Western world. You have these same issues. Rising rents, rising house prices. People who are middle class of those places, and let alone even lower income, cannot afford properties anymore. So it is an issue that's happening in many parts of the EU and many parts of the US and Canada and Australia. And I think even Mexico as well. So it is an issue that's of the times. Gianni says you could try a Freddo cappuccino. I don't like milk, but yes, a Freddo cappuccino, if you like milk, is a good bet. Freddo cappuccino just has the milk also frothed up in this drink. Michelle says, stay another hour for your philosophical chats. Today I can't. I don't want to, because I want to explore more of Nafplio and do a few short videos. But I'll stick around as long as when these lucumades come, when these donuts come. We have a similar situation in Portugal, says Tim Posey. Yep. Portugal is going through similar things. I love your cafe post. Almost like I'm me being there, says Jer. Hey Jer, I'm so happy. You are our chief tour guide, says Spencer. Yes. I wonder if that group that we saw earlier is one of the groups of Rick Steves. Rick Steves is a American travel writer and TV show host, but he also runs the company, Rick Steves, his name, that also offers tours too. Is it common for families to live here? Yes. It is common for men and women to live with their families until they get married. And then even when they get married, especially if they're from outside of a major city like Athens or Thessaloniki, they end up moving. If I get it correct, the woman moves in with the husband's family. So even then, it is likely that families are living together or at least very close to each other. If not together in the same actual apartment or house, they're living in the same neighborhood or even in the same building. So yeah, it's very common that people live here together for a long time. But especially if you're not married, a lot of people in their 20s and 30s are living with their parents. All right, so right now they're collecting the grain for the donut. And then going to the beehive to get the honey too for the topping on the donut. That's why it's taking so long. It's truly made to order. Tiposi says, and then the parents stay with the families until they pass away, not sent in the home. Yeah, that's another. I think that's another admirable thing about Greek culture, is that the elderly stay with the family. They're not sent to a home, which is the case in the U.S. and in Puerto Rico, where elderly are usually sent to some senior care living center, away from their children, away from their kids. And it's a shame. It's a shame that we do that so much in the U.S. now, because I think it is important to stick with family. Daryl, nice to see you here. Girlfriends are a challenge when living with parents, says Lawrence. Yes, I've spoken with a few Greeks and they have talked about that with me. We chatted about that. They find their way. They find their way. So Michelle says, my Big Fat Greek Wedding is coming out on September 8th here in the UK. Wonder how close it is to real Greek life. So I've seen my Big Fat Greek Wedding 1. I haven't seen number 2. And I know number 3 is coming out. Number 1 does focus on a lot of stereotypes of Greeks, but it is very, I would say there are things that are truthful in that film. Yes, it is stereotyping, but I think some of those stereotypes are things that you would see as someone who's an outsider looking into Greek culture. Susie says they filmed the new one partly in Greece. I think it takes place almost entirely in a Greek island. I don't know what the island is, but it takes place in the Greek island, I think. Spencer says those winds in Italy, it changes like that in an instant. Yeah, this crazy wind. This is the harshest winds I've seen in recent times here. I wonder what happened to these donuts. They're taking a while. Three should be called My Big Fat Greek Vacation. Susie says, I saw the trailer out to rewatch it. Most Greeks own their own houses. The motto is that parents away tried to build an extra house for as many kids. Oh, yes. Interesting. Timposi says, yeah, my big fat Greek wedding is a bit exaggerated, but pretty much true. Did you get your water, says Lorraine. I did, yeah. But I'm waiting for the donuts. Hey, Daryl says, have you met Rick Steves in person? No, I would love to. I would love to. I had the chance to meet Diane Kochilas in Ikaria, who's a TV personality also on PBS of a show called My Greek Table. But I would love to meet Rick Steves at some point. I think it would be such a deep pleasure. I have a feeling, and my mom has told me this a lot, that Rick Steves, she has a feeling, and then I get this feeling too, that Rick Steves is watching my show. Because it's very interesting that he ends up covering, of course he covers a lot of Europe, but weirdly enough, I cover sometimes very specific parts of Europe. As you can tell, sometimes I go to very interesting, unique places that are not so typical. And Rick Steves, like a week or 2 weeks later, covers that same place. It could be coincidence. The guy, of course, knows his Europe. He covers a huge portions of Europe. So it could be mere coincidence. But sometimes it's a very weird. It's like, Rick Steves, why are you talking about Sheffield? After me, I did Sheffield. Well, there was a few other examples, like really weird places, like Ez, France, which is in the south of France. I covered it last year. 2 weeks later, oh, he's posting about Ez. Jer says, I hope the donuts are worth the wait. Yeah, me too. Me too. In Greece, you can't really take it too fast. It's relaxed. But there are certain limits. There's 20 minutes for donuts. Maybe they forgot, says Andy. Yeah, maybe. Lauren says I should write a travel guide. Neptune says Rick Steves is amazing. I watch his travel videos, and now I end up with live streamers like Urbanist. Hey, yeah, his show is amazing. Available on YouTube, almost all episodes. You have a Greek fan. It's not blowing as hard as the wind here, says Michelle. Yeah. Oh, Michelle, you're watching from Greece. I didn't realize. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm still waiting for Lukomadis. I ordered them.
Are you late? You have you ordered?
Yeah, I reordered. Yeah, like.
How we fix?
Okay, all right, awesome. Thank you. Paulie says, I think you ought to ask about those Lukomadis. Lukomadis. Yes, I just asked. The guy said, well, fix. C says, I like Rick Stein, the food show presenter. Oh, I'm so happy. Haven't heard of him yet. Rick Stein.
Hello.
Oh, I'm still waiting for Lukomadis. I ordered them like 20 minutes ago. Thank you so much. The guy tried to, he thought I wanted to pay. That's weird. Oleg says they're still waiting for the recipe. Indeed they did. Meta says, maybe they're screwing with you. No, it, I would doubt it. It really doesn't happen too much in Greece. It's fairly rare. However, you do have to be aware with 2 or 3 big touristy areas. Not so much in Athens, but in Hania and Mykonos, you do have to be aware because there are sometimes some very low-rated restaurants where they try to overcharge you a lot. So yeah, you have to be careful in the super touristy places of Greece. Not so much Athens, luckily. And I don't get the vibe I'll get ripped off here. I don't get the vibe. The Toonster says it's being baked. 20 minutes is quite a long time to bake. Like, I get things are slow, but this is quite a while. Lorraine says they forgot the donuts. I think they did. Gianni says lucamadas are usually ready, made on the spot. I understand. 20 minutes is more than enough time to make them on the spot. Walter says, hey, Mark from Walter's World is tuning in. Mark from Walter's World joins the pantheon of great travel personalities, along with Rick Steves, Samantha Brown, and Mark of Walter's World is also in that pantheon. And thank you so much for tuning in, man. I'm so glad you know this place. It's awesome. I know you spent a lot of time in Nafplio, so that's awesome to hear. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. Wendy says, bring on the donuts. Indeed, yes. How's the Greek coffee, says Ramirez. Redman says they're bored to do it faster. It's hot. Nobody really wants to work a lot. Yeah, it happens. Timposi says, good you reminded them. Yeah, we'll see. Hey, welcome everyone. Do most Greeks speak English, says Lawrence? Yes. Almo says, make it complimentary now. That probably won't happen. The only place I really see that ever happening is US. If it does, but it's rare. But I know there's other countries that would happen. I haven't been to Pakistan yet, but I heard that happens a lot in Pakistan where they would just sometimes give you free food. Andy is asking Mark of Walter's World, do you recommend this place? Hey, yes, I will be. There's still one video I have left to post with Mark of Walter's World, but I did appear on his channel. If you want to learn my 3 tips for slow travel, you can check my video appearance on Walter's World. Brigitte says you have quite a little bit of patience. I do. I would. It's running thin. I would. And they didn't forget it because they already put the receipt. They're just taking way too long. Because if it weren't on the receipt, I would not. If it was on the receipt, they have in the system. Meta says, Anthony Bourdain got screwed over in the show. What do you mean, Meta? In what episode? Redman says, are you still in Hanya? It looks very similar because of the Venetian architecture, but no, this is Nafplio. Nafplio. Here in Greece, in the Peloponnese. And Wendy says, shout donuts as they do in the beach. Yeah, in the beach they sell donuts here in the beaches of Greece for some reason. And donuts are gigantic. They're not the donut holes like Loukoumades, but they're like actual real big donuts. Meta says, Bourdain got junk food in Japan. Oh, interesting. All right, I'm running out of battery. Ariro says, that's Greek time for you. Always late. Oof, 30 minutes already for Loukoumades. This is obscene. Obscene. I would not wait that much. Oof. Yeah. Anyways, ask me any last remaining questions. I don't think I'll be waiting for these Loukoumades. If they don't come in 3 minutes, I'll be paying just for this coffee and water and heading out. Let me plug in. Redman says Thessaloniki has the best food in Greece. I agree. The food in Greece, the food in Thessaloniki is amazing. Truly great. Great food. Jared says, usually how fresh the food is in Greece. Generally, the food in Greece is generally fresh. Not so much in... Yeah, generally is fresh. I would say I have not seen too much frozen food offered here in Greece, which would get rather bad reviews, especially if you go on Google Maps. All right, everyone, this was a bit of a bummer. No Loukoumades. I will be paying and heading out because this is way too long. 30 minutes for donuts is way too long. But nonetheless, this happens luckily very rarely. Of course, things are a bit slower in Greece, and that's okay. But there are certain limits. This is probably the highest limit that I've reached so far in Greece. Generally, things might be slow, but not this slow. So don't let this deter you from eating out in Greece. And if this ever happens, what I do is I pay cash of what I got served and head out, because I ain't gonna wait. But nonetheless, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you watching. I'll be doing more videos of Greece. You'll be seeing more places here. Everyone keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.